As an introductory video for this module, I'd really like to start to discuss graphic tools and really establish a couple of terms. First of all, what is a tool, and what should we use to define tools? Really, anything that we use to produce design or graphic work should be considered a tool of the profession. And a tool is really any implement that's used to carry out a particular function. So from some of the traditional drafting implements shown here, pens, pencils, colored pencils, scales, rulers, even paper is a very important tool, as it can expand so much what type of result we get with our product, from glossy to matte, transparent, non-transparent. How the ink, whether it's a marker or a printer, is received by the paper can dictate so much about the quality or the representation and even the durability of a final product. So paper is a very important tool. In addition to paper, I'd like you to consider the computer. And I also like to introduce a couple of terms here. The first is that of input. Anything that we put into the digital environment, or a tool that we use to put information into the digital environment, is what we call an input tool. So kind of most traditional would be your keyboard and your mouse. Obviously we understand and interpret that information through our monitors, but you may even have some familiarity with touch screens, or being able to mouse directly on the surface of your monitor. So those would also be considered input devices. Another example here, this is something that you're encouraged to begin to learn this semester, but this is a Wacom tablet, or just generally speaking a digitizer tablet. A very important input tool that really gives you, kind of bridges the gap between traditional drafting tools and the way that we use them, drawing by hand, if you will, and getting it into the digital environment. The next term I'd like you to understand is that of output. Output is so critical to knowing what our final product should be and the quality that we need to use for the input. And output can vary from large format plotters like you saw there, to smaller color printers. And this is really a multi-function piece of equipment here. This is an input and output. It's got a color copier, color scanner, as well as a color printer. So those are really the variety of input and output tools that I want you to be familiar with, and just understanding that tools should be seamless to the process and